Listen up, my fellow coaches and leaders. The truth is, we all need a space to learn and grow so we can bust through our personal glass ceilings and step into our full potential, especially if we want to create the space to allow others to step into theirs. And that's where I come in. I'm not just a former clinical psychologist, but also a seasoned dream life and business coach with over 2 decades of experience helping people shatter their personal barriers and unleash their greatness. And here's the thing, you don't have to figure this all out on your own. As a heart-centered entrepreneur or industry leader, you deserve the best tools and strategies to help you and your business thrive. And that's why I'm excited to share my experience with you through the Coaching for Coaches podcast. Utilizing powerful combination of clinical skills, quantum physics, and strength-based coaching methods, I'll show you exactly what to do and exactly what to say to unleash your true potential and create a path for your clients to follow. And not just that, I'll also teach you how to build a thriving coaching business around your unique skill set and passions. So let's get started. It's time to answer your calling, make a lasting impact on the world, and create a lucrative living doing exactly what you love. Welcome to the Coaching for Coaches podcast, where greatness begins. Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh here. Welcome to Monday. Every single Monday in the Become a Dream Life Coach free Facebook group, we connect. I answer your questions. I help you to level up as a coach and a business owner. So as we talk through our content today, I'd love to be able to answer any questions that you have. If you could first let me know where you're listening from, and if you're a new coach, an aspiring coach, or a seasoned coach, tell me a little bit about your story in the comments below. If you're listening to the replay, I love the replay crew, so hi, thanks for being here. Be sure to comment in the comments below as well. I always go back and review and reply and connect with those who comment. If you are listening on YouTube or on a podcast app, I'm glad you're here as well. So be sure to join the group. The link is in the description, and we'd love to have you connect with us kind of in, I don't know, is it in person, live, interactive, all that good stuff, because I know that you're here because you're ready to step into your new thing, right? Maybe you have been a teacher or a nurse or like me, I was a clinical psychologist. I was a leader in network marketing. I had all of this experience under my belt, but I was ready to add value to the world in a new way. And for me, that new way meant on my schedule, and it meant content I believed in. I found as a clinical psychologist that I was often working in a broken system that truly couldn't support and help the people that I was looking to support and help. I don't know about you, but there's something to be said about having a program or a product or a process that you know gets people results. And for me, in the clinical psychology world that I was in, I found that I was working in a system that only could provide like menial results, right? I had over 80 clients. I led like 5 to 8 groups at a time. Like there was just not enough of me to go around. So if that's you, put your story in the comments. I want to hear from you. So today we're going to talk about how I actually broke through the resistance I was experiencing when I wanted to start my own coaching business. And I'm going to tell you a bit about my story and weave in how I broke through and give you a step-by-step plan for how you can do the same. Because here's what I know. This loud stirring that you're experiencing, this restlessness that you're experiencing is going to get louder until you take full action on it and step into the business of your dreams. So, a bit about me, as you know, I was a clinical psychologist. I got my master's in clinical psychology because I had a heart to serve people. I had a heart to impact the world. I felt like I could see them 3 steps ahead of where they saw themselves. And I was the bridge to help them get there. And although I had great results in the clinical psychology days, like I really appreciated my clients, it was also burnout. I was overworked, underpaid, a lot of chronic issues. I mean, it was tough. And so I quickly got into this place where I was like, I know this isn't it, right? I know that I have value to add to the world, but this isn't the vehicle to do so. And so I started looking around. I started asking. I started hunting. I started seeing like where else could I add value. I even did a private practice in a local church for a season. And I looked into getting new jobs and I thought, well, is the grass really greener on the other side? I don't really know if it's going to be better at an inpatient facility or a substance abuse place or, another clinic, so to speak. And at least here, I know the paperwork. And so I stayed in this push-pull restlessness space for about 5 years where I was like, all right, I know this isn't quite it, but I don't really know what to do. So I'm just going to stay here. And the reality is, my friends, is like we all know people who have stayed here, as I call it, for decades. And so, needless to say, I found my side hustle. I found network marketing as a way for me to grow and learn a new skill and work with people in a new way. And I found that I was helping people live their dream life, like make more money, have time freedom, decide what they want and go for it. And I was able to serve them, like break through their own personal glass ceiling, overcome self-sabotage, release the fears and the hurts and the betrayal that's been holding them back. I was able to help them do that. And for over 15 years, I helped people in a new way through the field of network marketing. And then I got to that restlessness place again, you guys. And do you know how annoying it is to get into that restlessness space where I'm sure you do. That's why you're here, because you're like, dang it. I didn't want to make a change. I didn't necessarily want to make a pivot. I wanted to love where I was, but I got to a place where I wasn't loving where I was anymore. And I had that choice to make again. Do I stay where I am, even if I'm not feeling it? Or do I figure out a way to relight my spark? And I went through the same emotional challenges that I had 15 years earlier when I was making my move into the industry. I was now making a move into a new industry, the coaching industry. I thought not everybody wants to join my MLM team, but like everybody needs this content. Everybody needs how to overcome self-sabotage. Everybody needs how to take their thoughts captive. Everybody needs to learn the power of visualization. Like everybody needs to learn how to get over themselves and live the life they want to live. Not everybody wants to join network marketing, right? And so I started creating programs that could serve anybody looking to grow, anybody who's in this pivot point themselves. And so there are 5 main fears that we're going to talk about today that I wonder if you are experiencing too. And so again, I'm going to share my story as I weave through these 5, but think about you, yourself, and your story. What is keeping you stuck where you are, even if in your heart of hearts, right? You know it's not it for you. So fear 1, classic fear 1, is fear of failure. This is the fear that you're not going to reach your goals. This is just like the fear of, whoops, it doesn't work. And so what happens when we have this fear of failure is it leads to indecisiveness. It leads to procrastination. It leads to not even going in 100%, right? We dip our toe in. We have this little out that goes, oh, it's not going to work anyway. And we may even start to tell people that it's not going to work just to keep expectations low. Now, for me, I had already experienced a mountaintop. I was at the height of my MLM network marketing career. We had been in the top 2 or 3. I think some years we were 3. But so the top 3 for over 10 years. Like, we didn't just get there and then go back down. Like, we got there and stayed there. Like, we were experiencing tremendous success. But I still had the fear of failure. So as I was starting to embark on a new thing, I bumped up against my comfort zone. You know, like, I know this world. I know network marketing. I know direct sales. I know how to teach and train my team. I know leadership. I know how to get the best out of people. But I was bumping into a new comfort zone of, how do I start a coaching business? How do I create a program? How do I collect payments? How do this is all new. And so when things are new, we have these fears again. And so we might even start having low expectations ourselves. Well, I'll just do this little thing over here. Oh, I'll just try this small thing. Oh, I'll just put my toe in. Oh, I'll just start next year or whatever. We have this fear that leads to keeping our expectations low, putting our toe in, and we don't even really get started. And then guess what happens? We have a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've experienced this a ton, you guys, where my head says, yeah, we're going for it. And I'm like saying all the right things and I'm making my dream board and I'm doing the things. But my heart of hearts goes, yeah, right. And when your heart of hearts doesn't really believe in what you're doing and you're afraid and you're not full 100% emotionally connected to your goal, then guess what? That self-fulfilling prophecy is going to be what you get. You always get what you really expect. And so fear of failure, if you're living in that fear, can keep you stuck there. Second is fear of rejection. Now, again, this is fascinating that I experienced this again because I had already gone through all this entrepreneurship, learning and growing and all the things, right? But fear of rejection is the fear of people telling you no, turning you down. It can be personal or professional. It's basically a fear of other people's judgments. And it's the comparison game. And it doesn't matter if you're at the height of your company and you're trying something new. It doesn't matter if you have 20 years of experience teaching and training this one thing. Doing a new thing like creating a coaching business, starting a coaching program, letting people know you're open for business in a new way, you are going to have that fear of rejection again. And now you're comparing yourself to coaches who've been doing it way longer, right? You're new in this world. And so it can feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm second guessing. Oh, other people are going to think that X, Y, Z. And we can stop before we even start. So the comparison game, well, I have really learned about the comparison game because I experience it too, right? I especially have the shoulds. I should be further along. I should know more. I should X, Y, Z. What I've learned is to use the people who are 3 steps ahead of me as a roadmap for me. So instead of comparing myself to them, thinking I should be further ahead, I should be more like them, I can use them as a case study. I can watch what they're doing. I can mimic what they're doing. I can duplicate in some ways, take what works for them and see how I can make it my own. Instead of having this rejection of people maybe saying I'm not good enough, other people's opinions or judgments, and looking at others thinking they're better than me, I can actually use it to fuel me if I let it, like if I choose that, right? Let me know. Are you fear of failure? Are you fear of rejection? Put those in the comments below. Next, we've got fear of success. Now, I think this one sounds silly, like who would be afraid of success? But this is actually a really fascinating one and one that runs on the underground, under the surface, you know what I mean? So it's basically the fear of getting what you want, and it's rooted in the fear of change, which can lead to self-sabotage. So we talk about this a lot in 90 Day U-Turn, my Overcome Self-Sabotage program. But as you bump up against your comfort zone, as you start to shift and grow, your subconscious is going to snap you back to what it deems normal. And so if success is for those people over there, and it's not for me today, right now, then oftentimes as we start to take steps to those people over there, our subconscious is going to smack us back to what it deems normal. Fear of success has been referred to as backlash avoidance, as success, as you start to take steps towards your goal, can alienate you from those you care about most. Have you guys ever had that? Oh, you think you're too good for us now? Oh, you think that you, I don't know, you're leaving us, all the things that people could say, right? Fear of success and snapping back to what we deem normal to fit in with the tribe is a real subconscious expectation and where a lot of self-sabotage is rooted in. All right, number 4, fear of being a fraud, imposter syndrome. Give me a 4 if this is you. So imposter syndrome basically means, I don't even know what I'm talking about. The fear that you're not good enough. Now, here's what I've learned about imposter syndrome because I have experienced it too. In my experience, I thought everybody knew the things that I knew, right?
I thought that everybody has learned this before. I thought this was old news. I thought that I would put a program out and everyone would go boring. And so for me, it was realizing that the information that I have, the experience that I have, the ability to communicate what I know is not everybody has that. And I think all of us think this sometimes, right? We think that people know what we know when they don't. Not everybody has a master's in clinical psychology and 5 years working in mental health and 20 years of leading people, right? Like, not everybody has that. And so for me, I had to realize, number one, doing the work and getting feedback was a huge way to overcome this, because I had people say, oh, how come I didn't learn this sooner? Oh, I can't believe I'm 50 and I'm now learning about this. Now I can teach my kids. And now I feel like every relationship is more healthy and all of these things. And so getting that feedback certainly helped me to realize this information is important and everybody needs it. Now, number 5, the last one. This is really fascinating, and it connects with fear of success a bit, but it's the fear of abandonment. This is the fear of being left alone, or that you may say or do something that would drive away those you most care about. And again, we talk about this in 90 Day U-Turn a lot, where we're growing and we're kind of leaving those people behind as we go towards our goal, or at least they can feel that way. Well, we can feel left out as well. And so for me, as I was starting to build my coaching business, starting to figure out how to create a program, building confidence that what I had to offer was of value to people, I was also leaving the world I knew behind. And that can be really scary. It's like Velcro, right? Where you're just peeling away and it hurts and it's sad and it's disheartening. And so I had that when I was leaving my job, right? When I had to make the decision to let go of that job and step into my business full time, even though I was excited about where I was going, it was still scary. It was still tricky. It was still hard. There were still relationships, right? And as I was stepping away from network marketing and creating my own coaching business, I experienced that same thing. It was not that I guess I was leaving them behind, or we were just parting ways. Like, we were no longer had the same goals. And that can bring up a lot of fear of abandonment, fear of being left alone, fear of, can I create a new community? Who is my new community to create? So I want to hear from you. I'm going to refresh my phone here so I can see any comments. What you guys are. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So 1 is fear of failure, 2 is fear of rejection, 3 is fear of success, 4 is feeling a fraud, imposter syndrome, 5 is fear of abandonment. Robin says, so true. Yes. Patricia says rejection. Ooh, Lisa, the pressure of responsibility. That's yes. Which one would that be? Fear of success. Yeah. Fear of success. So what if I can't handle it? What if I'm working too much? What if I have all this pressure on me? What if I'm so busy now because I have so many clients, right? There's certainly the fear of potential burnout that's not even happening yet, but we're afraid of it. Yes, true. Patricia, Robin both say 4, fear of being a fraud. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, because this is super helpful and we're going to get over that quickly. All right. So each one of these fears comes down to one main thought. And that main thought is, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. It's like I will never be loved. It's like this worthiness that's at the root, which is why we talk a lot about self-image within 90 Day U-Turn and shifting that self-image. So when we start to take that like-minded action, like the action that's taking us towards our goal, our self-image meets us there. And we don't snap back to what is normal, because this is our new normal. Yeah. So things like being afraid of being too busy with a business, or maybe worried that you have to say no to your children, or you're traveling too much, you're going to be away from them too long, or you're going to lose time, freedom, because you're so busy. I mean, all of these things can keep us stuck in a world that's not happening yet. So listen to me, right? Okay, listen close. Fear is a defense mechanism. And it's like triggered when we're in fight or flight mode. And oftentimes fear, our fight or flight mode, is being triggered by an image in our brain of future pain. Let me say this again. Fear arises from an image in our brain of future pain. Every fear is about the brain trying to avoid future pain. And that image within the brain sends signals to the nervous system, increasing the feelings of fear. Examples. When I wrote my book, I thought people were going to throw tomatoes at me through Facebook. Like, I just felt like people were going to... It felt so vulnerable. When you're doing a business, it can feel so vulnerable to put your heart on a sleeve or in a program, and it feels like people are going to be mean to you. Now, did that happen? No. In fact, I got a ton of great reviews and lots of people saying it was helpful and all the things. But that image of the attack, that image kept me from writing my book for years. Okay, so if fear is an image in our brain of future pain that's not happening yet, how do we get rid of the fear? Because the reality is our nervous system and our brain are just doing what it's designed to do, right? The fear isn't true. It's not accurate. It's not a sign. I'll often have people say, oh, well, somebody told me no, I guess that's a sign. Or somebody was mean to me, I guess that's a sign I shouldn't be doing it. Or I actually feel super nervous doing my first live or launching my business on Facebook or whatever. I guess this means I shouldn't do it. No. That's not what it means. Fear is when you're bumping up against your comfort zone and your body just wants you to be normal, and it's responding to that image of fear. So I have 5 ways that we can use this information to hack our brain and our nervous system instead of allowing it to control us. So instead of using our visualization for false evidence appearing real, right? For things that aren't happening yet, we are going to visualize our dreams being way more exciting than our fear. And so I'll tell you what happened with me. I got to a place where I thought, I don't have a choice. It's either build my new coaching business or be a mom and do nothing, which I love being a mom and I love taking care of my boys. And I did do that for several years. During COVID, I put my business on hold. We had residual income coming in and I took a few years to just be a mom. And then I was like, you know what? I've got more to say than that. I've got more to do than that. I have so much wisdom and information that I want to help so many people. I can't just sit back and not do anything. And so these are the 5 steps that helped me make the pivot quickly. Now, when I say quickly, it still was a few-year pivot for me of emotionally letting go of the identity of network marketing leader into Dream Life Coach. Like, it took me a season, but once I decided, it actually happened fairly quickly. So the first one was I had to know what I wanted. Clear goal, hands down, all of the time. We talk about this a lot in 90-Day U-Turn. You got to know where you're going so you can line up your affirmations, your visualization, your reticular activating system, all the things, right? So you need to know where you're going. And so for me, I had done all of my content in so many different ways. Full days event, 2-hour workshops. I had done it in a lot of different ways. And I realized that I have more to offer than just a 2-hour event, and a full day event is not enough time to actually start practicing. So I wanted to create something that would give you information in bite-sized pieces so you could practice it each week as you grow. And I created 90-Day U-Turn. I had a clear goal of a program and product I wanted to sell to support people in overcoming self-sabotage and stepping into their dream life. The second thing was visualizing it. I now had to start visualizing myself as a coach, opening the doors to my program, getting people on the phone or on Zooms or an opportunity call or a sales conversation or something like that, and then getting people to say yes. So I started imagining that. I started imagining, what is it going to feel like when people are saying yes to my program? What is it going to feel like when I start seeing them experience results? What does it feel like when I've got people saying yes consistently? You know what I mean? And so I started really seeing myself 3 steps ahead. Now, this can take time because again, our nervous system is going to go, yeah, right. You're this person. So we got to practice this. We got to practice, which is why it's a part of my journals. Imagining, using your visualization, using your imagination to see yourself 3 steps ahead. Clear goal, visualization, visualizing what it is that you want. All right, number 3 was community. Now, I see this within the Dream Life coaching community as well. Is that we're not going to do it alone. For example, how long have you been thinking about starting your coaching business, right? Or how long have you been thinking about doing your book? We often aren't going to do it alone because we're bumping up against our comfort zone, and all of these fears will start to arise. And so we need to create bumpers for us moving forward. Like I say in bowling, you put bumpers up so you set yourself up for success. One of those is community. So for me, I joined a coaching community where I learned and was around other fellow coaches and could see what they do and duplicate things with my own business and hear their success stories. Like, being in a community of people doing what I wanted to do was huge. Not only did it start to shift my self-image, oh, I'm like them. Oh, they're not that different from me. Oh, look at what they're doing and it's working. And oh my goodness, helped me to see myself 3 steps ahead, but also helped close the gap on that comparison game. Because you know what? They're not a million times cooler than me, right? They've just been doing it a little bit longer. And so choosing to be in a community of people doing what I wanted to do helped my self-image and helped that fear or imposter syndrome, because I was able to realize, like, oh, they are just as, like, we're the same. All right, number 4 was accountability to new action. In order to grow outside your comfort zone, in order to dissipate those fears and to make it feel a bit easier to do the hard thing, we need accountability. And again, that comes in community. But as you have accountability to the new action, whether it's generating leads, whether it's following up with leads, whether it's sharing your testimony, whether it is letting people know you're open for business on social media, whether it is creating content and speaking to your audience in a new way, whatever you need to do to grow your business, we need accountability. And so in 90 Day U-Turn and the certification program, right, we give you content that you can use with your clients, but we also support you in building your business. And so that accountability to new action, guess what that does? It shifts your identity. So number 5 is shifting that self-image, shifting that new identity, because as you start taking action, you're going to naturally snap back to what's normal. But what if what's normal is where you want to go? What if what's normal is, I'm a Dream Life coach. I have clients signing up each and every month. I'm making $10,000 a month or more as a Dream Life coach, loving what I do, adding value to the world in a beautiful way on my time schedule, and I get paid to go to Costa Rica. Like, sounds amazing, doesn't it? Yes. And so I don't know where you are on your journey. My guess is you're somewhere bumping up against your comfort zone. You want to start adding value to the new world in a new way, but yet you don't quite know how, and you don't quite have the support. So when you do the new hard thing, you snap back to what feels safe, to what feels normal. Well, here at Dream Life Certification, Business, and Coaching Cohorts, we help you to grow your comfort zone within community and accountability. So you create a new self-image that goes, heck yeah, I'm a coach. Heck yeah, I'm making 6 figures or more. Heck yeah, I'm adding value in a way that I love on my own time, and it feels so stinking good. So with that being said, I am going to refresh my phone to see if anyone has any new comments, but I'd love to hear from you where you are at on your coaching journey. If you are interested in learning more about 90 Day U-Turn itself, put 90 day in the comments below. We actually have a Black Friday special happening in this week, so stay tuned for that. If you're interested in the certification program, then put coach down below. Let's talk, because I know that if you've been wrestling with this for quite a while, then you need community accountability, roadmap, and support to make it happen. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you, and I just know that these fears that you're experiencing are 110% normal. It's a part of the process, and the goal is to take new action so you can form that new identity and snap back to what it is you want. Have an awesome, awesome day, you guys. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week.